Amen, Patrick. We're at a home off of Sanders Avenue, on Sanders Avenue off of Quinn Street. This is near Bonita Beach Road, and I'm standing here on a piece of plywood. The residents that live in this home had to actually put this here in order to get inside. And I'm going to give our photographer Tom some time to step down, and as we show you what the inside of this home looks like, and as we walk in, you'll notice that they had to put down not only just this piece of plywood, but these bricks here in order to make their way inside of their home. These sandbags, the residents that live here tell me they did absolutely nothing to stop these floodwaters from seeping into the house. This area that we're walking in is the kitchen area. You'll see the refrigerator here was put up on bricks in order to keep it out of the floodwaters. And now the electricity in this home has been cut off. So we're gonna try to show you as much as we can. Here is this back lanai. You can see this home is under 6 to 8 inches of water. And this is the best that it's been since Sunday, the residents here tell me, when the waters initially rushed through. If you look here, you can see where the water line initially was. So around here, and the residents tell me it was about 2 to 3 feet of water inside of this home. Right now, it's about 6 to 8 inches high. We're going to take you back into one of the bedrooms. Now, there are children that live in this home along with the mother and father. She tells me her brother-in-law was also living here with her. So an entire family, about 8 to 10 people, have been displaced. But you can see here, gives you a better idea of where the water line was. We couldn't really see it in the lanai area, but here you can definitely get a better look at it. And I wanted to show you guys the bedrooms, so I think this gives you a better idea of just how difficult this has been for the family. Just take a look at this bedroom where the mother used to sleep with her children. Now it's completely submerged underwater. Here is another bedroom. They told me that the waters began to rush into the home Sunday morning. By Monday, it was completely uninhabitable, and now they have been forced out pretty much. Fortunately, their next door neighbor who's on higher ground was able to help them out with a place to stay, but now they are in the situation where they're trying to find a new home. And they're telling me that at this point they really don't know what they're going to do or where they're going to go. But as we walk through this home, it's honestly shocking to see that there's still so much water, and it's only on maybe a 4-block radius in this area around Bonita Beach Road. And we've been speaking to people in this area along with areas in San Carlos Park who are still dealing with flooding. Coming up at 10:30, we're going to have more on the situations that other residents are dealing with. So for now, I'm going to send it back to you. Reporting live in Bonita Springs, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right,
right, Deborah.
Amy, we are actually on our way to rescue someone as we speak. We just turned into the Terravande community right off of Island Park. And as you can see, this community is completely flooded. Fortunately, we're being told by residents here that the water has not gone into the first floor units. But the person that we're going to rescue is actually this man's daughter. And can you tell me, how quickly did this area flood here?
Well, it's been storming like this. It's been flooded since easily yesterday afternoon, but about 3 o'clock, that's when all of the water overfilled the streets, and we've been stuck like this for easily 24 hours now.
Wow. It's really unbelievable what we're seeing here, and it's just on this road here that we're seeing most of the flooding. The road is right next to us, Island Park Road, but this community is just a look at what many communities on this road is dealing with. Close to 3 feet of flooding water here, and you can see some of the cars just trying to tread some of that flood water. And then we're going to stay out here and talk to more people. Again, rescues are still underway. Last I spoke with San Carlos Fire District, they tell me they've rescued over 130 people. So still a very active situation here. Amen, Patrick. The roads are beginning to flood a bit in this neighborhood, but as you can see, cars are still able to get through. But what people are really talking about here is the wind gust that came through this area. I just want to give our photographer time to take a step back so that you guys can get a view of this tree. This thing is absolutely massive, and it gives you an idea of just how strong the winds were that came through this area. I mean, just take a look at the base of this tree here, the diameter. It's huge, these roots. It gives you an idea of how strong those wind gusts were. Now, this home was just on our way to another home in this area that saw some wind damage. We want to show you that video right now. You'll see that a lanai screen at that home was completely destroyed, parts of it falling into the pool there. Now, the homeowner at that home didn't want to go on camera with us, but they tell us that that damage was indeed caused by high winds that went through the area. Also, some uprooted trees in front of that home. We spoke to someone who lives next door. He says he went on a lunch, came back, and saw the damage.
At lunch, I mean, the wind had picked up to a pretty good speed. I'm not certain if it was just strictly wind damage or possibly a tornado.
Now, there haven't been any confirmed tornadoes touching down in this area, but I did get a chance to check in with our chief meteorologist, Derek Beasley. He tells me there were reports of wind gusts of up to 45 to 55 miles per hour in Lee County. And as you can see behind me, those winds definitely came through here. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4. In your corner.
All right, thank you.
Right next to us, this is the third subdivision that we've driven past that's been flooded as well, and it's been like this all day. Now, Island Park Road has not been shut down because of what you see right behind me, these bigger cars that are able to make their way through, and in some cases actually helping with the rescues.
Yeah, take the waterway.
Amy, the evacuation was lifted around 5:30, and we're actually standing right where the fire was burning. And there's still a few hot spots in this area we want to show you, just one that we've spotted so far. Now, I want to give you a scope of how big this fire was. It burned through about 75 acres, and you can see around me where all the trees are pretty much torched. You can see just some of the damage that was done here. And just look and see how close it got to the homes here. Now, we want to go to some video that was sent to us by the Sand.
Repair all the damage. Deborah?
Amy and Patrick, it looks like I'm standing in a pond right now, but this is actually someone's front yard. I'm just going to take a few steps to give you guys an idea of just how deep this water is. It's almost at the top of my boots here, and now residents around this neighborhood have been dealing with flooding, but it's not the only thing that they were dealing with today. They were also hit with high winds. This may look like a swamp, but it's someone's front yard. People living along Briarcliff Road in South Fort Myers soaked with rain and hit with strong winds.
The wind came in and actually tore one of the screens off the top of our lanai.
The same thing happened at this home. You can see the screen from the pool cage was ripped apart. David lives next door and says it all happened in a matter of minutes.
At lunch, I mean, the wind had picked up to a pretty good speed. I'm not certain if it was just strictly wind damage or possibly a tornado.
The high winds uprooted several trees in this neighborhood. This one is so big, I can actually crawl underneath the trunk of it, and as you can see, this front yard is pretty much flooded. The roots of this tree exposed. There haven't been any confirmed reports of a tornado touching down here, but we do know that the winds reached speeds of up to 55 miles per hour.
The winds were strong and multi-directional. It just came from every which way.
The winds were strong. Now, Patrick, I want to show our viewers just how close those flames got to the H&M stables. Now, right behind me is where that fire was burning. And again, this was in the evacuation zone, and that's no longer the case. But we're going to pan right over to where I am now, and I'm just walking right across the street. And if you look behind me where you see that light over there, that's where the stable is. So those flames came just within feet of the barn. Small flame. You know, and we're just right across the street. I wanted to get into the woods where the fire was burning to give you guys a look at just how bad it just really tore through this area. Now, this is completely dry, but what we have noticed in the past couple seconds is that it started to rain a little bit. So we got excited about it once we saw the raindrops coming down. So it's very light right now. You probably can't even tell through the screen, but it is sprinkling just a little bit. And this is probably the best news that the firefighters have gotten so far in this community. We're going to send it back to you now, live in Naples. Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner. Amy and Patrick, it's still unclear how those men were able to get inside. This place is completely fenced in, and there are also surveillance cameras. But detectives tell us they went after their victims demanding money, and when they wouldn't comply, they went on the attack. This railroad crossing was put in 1993. And FDOT officials say it's just come time to replace it. The plan is to replace the crossing gates you see here with new ones and bringing in a modern crossing here that uses concrete instead of this rubber.
Yep, everybody's talking about it.
Patrick, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office has been to this home more than 30 times since 2015. The woman living next door says she wants more done after her son almost stepped on a drug needle.
We picked those up. Oh, watch your step.
Ashley Paralisi now has to watch every step she takes in her yard.
There was coolers, there was the guns and ammo.
There's debris everywhere, some of it signs of crime.
All kinds of stuff. It's crazy.
She thinks it's all being dumped here by her neighbors.
Like right here's a knife.
And this week, her husband spotted something that left them furious.
Oh, the meth pipe was over there, right by the piece of concrete.
This meth pipe and 2 syringes, one with the needle still inside. She tells me her 4-year-old son was just inches away from the needle.
It wasn't capped. He could have been poked. It could have been a really, really, really bad situation.
A bad situation that felt worse with each discovery.
It was just disgusting.
The home was raided by a SWAT team last month after this search warrant was issued. Deputies arrested this woman accused of drug possession and this man accused of possession of a gun with the serial number removed. And Ashley thinks there's other illegal activity going on. She says one man mistook her 13-year-old daughter for a prostitute.
He looked at her and said, "Are you Becky from Backpage?" And I jumped up out of the chair. He started backing out. He said, "Whoa, wrong house."
There's definitely prostitution. Definitely.
Neighbors say they've also seen young women who appear to be prostituting walking down this street. Tell me about the girls that you've seen.
Which ones? There's been many.
There was obvious drug traffic and drug deals going down.
I tried speaking to someone I saw parked in the home's driveway. Hello. Ma'am? Ma'am, hi. I'm here with Fox 4. As you can see, I didn't have much luck. Ashley tells me getting answers from the people living next door has been tough. So she started this change.org petition, hoping to get enough signatures to send it to the governor. She wants him and state lawmakers to give homeowners more rights in situations like this.
Because in other states, they do have drug dealer eviction programs and nuisance laws for things like this, but Florida doesn't.
Ashley is also planning a neighborhood watch meeting for Monday to discuss their next steps. For more information on that, visit our website, fox4now.com. Reporting from Punta Gorda, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner. Amy, I'm standing next to the window of the concession stand that the crooks used to get inside, and you can still see the marks that were left behind from them trying to pry this window open. And the president of the San Carlos Little League baseball team tells me whoever did this knew exactly when to strike. The scenes are eerily familiar. Gunshots fired.
15 gunshots, 20 gunshots back to back, like an automatic weapon. Just dot, 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 dot. It was like frequent shooting.
When the chaos settles, young lives are often lost. Andrew Faust was just 5 years old when a bullet in a drive-by shooting pierced his home.
Yeah, I don't want no violence in the neighborhood.
Then a 12-year-old Sean Archills took to the street holding a pink poster to call for justice.
So it's like there's too much violence, so I want that to stop.
Standing next to his older brother, little Sean wanted to take on a big problem, the cycle of violence and culture of silence that allowed Andrew's accused killers to walk free.
Stop the violence, break the silence.
Tragically, 2 years later, Sean would lose his life to the same issues he feared. Sean was leaving a teen party here when he was shot multiple times right here in this parking lot. Stefan Strader was also killed. Since that time, dozens of people have come forward, leaving items at this memorial. But police say not enough people are coming forward with tips. So far, only 14 witnesses have gave information. That's less than the number of people that were shot here. Now Sean's older brother has returned to the streets 2 years after we last filmed him.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
This time to collect money for his brother's funeral.
Losing somebody isn't easy, especially him being my brother. It's not an easy thing to live through.
The posters once held for justice for Faust are now covered with Sean's pictures. And Deshaun is forced to continue his brother's push for peace, hoping to bring an end to the violence that has now shattered the lives of 2 more families.
Revenge isn't an option. Taking somebody's life isn't an option. They should just, somebody should just go to the cops and tell them what happened.
Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner. Covered with squad cars, and we want to go to some video that we shot when we first arrived on scene here. But again, according to a witness, this was a shooting. And now back live here, you can see that there's still a few detectives here, blocking off the entrance to the apartments here. And again, we haven't had any of this information confirmed. This is all from witnesses who tell us that someone was shot in the back of the head here. We're going to stay out here and try to get more information and bring it to you as soon as we get it. Live in Fort Myers, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right.
Amy and Patrick, protesters left the Harborside Event Center behind me around 9 o'clock tonight, but not before making their voices heard throughout parts of downtown. Now, protesters wanted this to be a peaceful protest, and for the most part, it was. However, we did notice a few tense moments when some in the crowd tried to defend the president-elect.
Not my president.
Walking through downtown Fort Myers, dozens gathered for what they called a show of unity.
And we've always tried to be a united country. It's in the name. And he's not achieving that at all. He's doing the complete opposite.
Love Trump's hate.
The protest began as an anti-Trump rally and a peace demonstration, which merged into one. But organizers say the overall message was the same.
We're shouting out "Love Trump's hate." It's all about making sure that we are leading this peacefully and that our country continues to move in a peaceful manner.
Many of the demonstrators say they were afraid of the division they believe President-elect Donald Trump reignited. We witnessed tempers flare when a Trump supporter tried defending the president-elect.
Donald Trump is a good man. That's right.
Others supporting President-elect Trump believe the protests are doing the opposite of helping spread peace.
This is America. We have a new president. Whoever doesn't like it, it doesn't change anything there. All right?
Many of the protesters said they aren't trying to change who is in the White House, but rather what is in the hearts of the people across the country.
But I hope that it goes beyond just the people that are here. The people in their mind are thinking a little bit more about these things.
Now, I spoke to people from all walks of life tonight, and they tell me they didn't want to focus too much on the politics that they believe is dividing people in the nation, but rather focusing on what brings us together. Reporting live in downtown Fort Myers, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you.
Amy, this homeowner simply says she wants the homeless people that moved into her home to move out. But the way Florida law is written right now, these squatters actually have more rights to the home than the actual homeowner. A damaged ATV parked in the front yard. Lucila Gale owns this Punta Gorda home. She says this is chaos squatters created.
I cannot believe that these people will do something like that. I mean, they have destroyed everything. Look in here. Look in here.
Looking around at the mess, Lucila is nearly speechless.
I am without words. I am completely baffled about this whole situation.
Homeless people taking over her home, trashing just about every corner of it, even stealing most of the furniture. Welcome to hell is the message scribbled on a TV in the living room. The electricity in this home has been off for months, and so has the water. But as you can see, it's running. The homeowner thinks the people living here had it reconnected. Lucila says her son, who once lived here, allowed a friend to move in. And that friend invited others who now refuse to leave.
And looking here, these are people that don't belong in here.
As she was showing us the home, we spotted the squatters. I mean, the least you can do is talk to her. You're living in her house for free. They agreed to explain to Lucila why they're here.
You think you can live in here free?
Well,
because she's here free. She just took over here.
But we didn't know any of this situation.
Well, I understand that. That's what I'm trying to talk to you.
Angie is the person who Lucila's son invited to live here temporarily. But now these people stake claim to the house, and her son was run out. As much as she wants them out now, Florida law requires that Lucila evict them through the courts, which could take weeks.
I'm not in control of my own property. That cannot be.
Now get this, Lucila has spent close to $3,000 so far trying to resolve this squatter situation. She wanted to share this story to warn others. In Charlotte County tonight, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner. Patrick, it was a horrifying 5 days for the victim inside of this pink and white home behind me. She told detectives she was able to escape using a side window, and then she ran to a neighbor's house to ask for help. Now, a source close to the investigation tells us she still had zip ties around her wrist when she escaped. Now, these are the individuals that detectives want you to look out for: Frank Ortega, Eric Gomez, and Arianles Garcia Ramos. They're currently on the run. Detectives say those teens came through the neighborhood around 4:30 in the morning, breaking into one residence and several vehicles. One victim wondering why they were in the neighborhood so late in the first place.
At 13 years old, you should be in bed.
Patrick, witnesses tell us officers arrived on scene here around 8:30 this evening. We're right outside of the Waterford Apartments. It's on Central Avenue and Carroll Road. And when we arrived here, this entire road here was completely covered with squad cars. And we want to go to some video that we shot when we first arrived on scene. Both entrances to the apartment complex were blocked off as detectives gathered evidence. According to a witness, someone was shot in the back of the head here. Listen to a man who spoke to the woman shortly after it happened.
Yeah, she came out hysterical, you know, saying, oh yeah, my friend, my friend, my friend. I was just talking to him and he just got shot now. And then when she was saying that, the ambulance was rolling out with the lights and sirens.
Now, we're still waiting for more details from detectives on exactly what happened here. But again, according to a witness, this was a shooting. And now back live here, you can see that there's still a few detectives here, blocking off the entrance to the apartments here. And again, we haven't had any of this information confirmed. This is all from witnesses who tell us that someone was shot in the back of the head here. We're going to stay out here and try to get more information and bring it to you as soon as we get it. Live in Fort Myers, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right.